The story begins on a cool autumn evening. I sat in a cafe near my company, waiting for my second cup of coffee with mixed feelings. This was my third date with Celine, the daughter of the CEO of my company. Although we were just colleagues, she seemed to have a special interest in me. The CEO asked me to date her, which made me feel very stressed and I didn't know what to do. Hi everyone, don't forget to leave feedback and enjoy the story. Celine sat across from me. Her smile made me feel a little uneasy, as if there was something hidden behind this date. Hi, Celine. I forced a smile, thinking about how to get through this reluctant date. We ordered tea and chatted briefly about some things in the company. Suddenly, Celine's phone rang. She took a look and her face turned pale instantly. Oh, I can't stand it anymore, take my bag. She handed me a bag, obviously a little out of control. What's wrong, Celine? I asked, somewhat worriedly. My father's company is in big trouble. Celine sighed, and I've recently felt that we shouldn't continue this. You don't have a car, and sometimes it's really tiring to date you. I can't believe that I, the daughter of a CEO, have to walk with you. How embarrassed would I be if my friends saw me? I didn't know what to say for a moment. Celine was very angry now, so I could only nod silently. At this moment, a pregnant woman suddenly fainted in the cafe. Everyone was panicking, but no one came forward to help. I rushed over immediately and tried to help the pregnant woman regardless of Celine's complaints and emotions. At this time, the owner of the cafe helped to call an ambulance. While waiting for the ambulance, Celine called her father and said, "Hello, Dad, I can't stand him. He didn't put me first and he just left me." At this moment, I felt speechless. For a moment, I thought Celine was very childish. I was even glad that she was not my girlfriend or wife yet. A few minutes later, the ambulance arrived and I breathed a sigh of relief. But when I was about to leave, the pregnant woman was still unconscious but kept holding my hand. Her condition was very urgent, so the nurse had no choice but to let me accompany her to the hospital. In the hospital, I stayed with the pregnant woman until she successfully gave birth to a pair of twins. The doctor mistakenly thought I was the father of the children, and told me the good news and asked me to take good care of the pregnant woman. I could only explain the misunderstanding awkwardly. At this time, the child's father and son rushed over, looked at me excitedly and said, "Thank you very much for your help, can you give me your business card?" "Oh, of course. Sorry, I was in a hurry so I didn't bring my business card." "Oh, it's okay, don't worry. Please leave your phone number with me, and we will treat you to a meal when my wife is discharged from the hospital. Please let me thank you again, and I will definitely keep in touch with you." No, you may be busier, so please leave time for your family." "Okay, I have to go now." At this moment, I envy, it's great to have a family. The next day, I returned to the company, my mind full of what happened yesterday. As soon as I arrived at the office, I was called to his office by the CEO. "Good morning, Jack." The CEO's expression was serious. "I heard that you left my daughter Celine alone yesterday for a woman." "Yes, sir," I explained. "The woman had fainted and it was a very stressful situation. I was just trying to help." "Celine didn't mention that. So you're saying that my daughter is mad at you for saving a pregnant woman? You're saying that my daughter is mean and unloving?" I stood there in silence, not knowing how to respond. The CEO sighed, but she said she couldn't stand you anymore, didn't want to see you again, and would even rather quit her job. What? I was surprised. I just did what I thought was right. "In any case, the company has decided to terminate your contract at the headquarters. The branch in Africa is understaffed, so you can go there to provide support. I will help you submit the application, and you can go to the Human Resources Department to handle the formalities. I will pay you an extra month's salary," the CEO said firmly. I found it incredible to hear this. Just because I saved a pregnant woman, I was forced to leave the headquarters. This unfair treatment made me angry and helpless. The company's decision was obviously to get rid of me as a troublemaker. The scene of that day emerged in my mind. A pregnant woman fainted in a cafe, and I rushed to rescue her without hesitation. However, this act of kindness became a turning point in my career. Do you really think this is the solution to the problem? I asked unwillingly. Are you disobeying orders? The CEO said angrily. I was still unwilling to refute, but I did nothing wrong in saving people, and it was after get off work. I did not violate the company contract. If you refuse, it will be against company rules. I have the final say in company affairs. The CEO looked at me coldly, without any emotion. If I were the husband of that pregnant woman, I would be very grateful to you. But I am Celine's father. She is my only daughter and I will put her feelings first. Now she doesn't want to work with you, so you have to leave. The CEO answered mercilessly. Okay, I get it. If the company doesn't trust me, then there's no need for me to stay here, I said coldly. What did you just say? The CEO asked in disbelief. Yes, I used to like the job here very much. The salary is good, and I have been working here since graduation. Maybe I have some feelings for the company. In fact, my boss also gave me a lot of learning opportunities, which is why I have achieved what I have today. But now I don't think so. I am only disappointed with the company. I took a deep breath and forced myself to calm down. I will choose to resign and hand over the job to other employees as soon as possible. This was my final answer. I walked out of the office with a heavy heart. Just as I was about to leave the company, I received a call from Celine. Key, I'm sorry, my dad fired you. Celine's voice sounded a little guilty, but fake. It's okay, Celine. I took a deep breath. I'll find a new job. After I quit my job, I felt free but lost. Then I received a phone call from a stranger. I've never seen that number before. Hello? I'm sorry to call you so suddenly. I'm Mr. Sato, whom I met at the hospital that day. Thank you for saving my wife and children. I wanted to ask if you work for an advertising company? Oh, yes, but actually I have quit my job for half a month. What? I'm sorry to surprise you. Actually, my wife later mentioned that she was worried about the problems between you and your girlfriend. Will it affect your relationship because of her? Oh no, please don't worry about me, I said calmly. Well, if you don't mind, would you like to come to our company to do advertising design? I believe in your character, and I have also inquired about your information in the industry. I know that you are an excellent designer. I believe that you will make a great contribution to our company. It will be my honor if you can come to our company. By Mr. Sato's kindness, I decided to give it a try and accepted his invitation. Mr. Sato smiled and said to me, "Thank you for your help. Our company is really short-staffed. I look forward to working with you." I look forward to working with you, too. I replied sincerely. When I first stepped into the door of Sato Company, I could feel the eyes and whispers around me. Some colleagues began to talk, not loudly but loud enough for me to hear. Why would Mr. Sato hire this person at this time? A voice whispered. Yeah, and he didn't seem to have passed the interview with our department manager, so how come he came in directly? Another voice echoed. If we just hire a useless person based on connections, it will only increase our workload, someone complained dissatisfiedly. I walked into the office and felt the strange looks and questioning atmosphere. Everyone's eyes were filled with distrust and suspicion. I knew that they were full of doubts and dissatisfaction with my arrival. It was not easy to start working in a new company. Although Mr. Sato had high hopes for me, my colleagues' cold attitude made me feel stressed. After Mr. Sato learned about my stress, he encouraged me and said to me, "Gold will always shine, and your future colleagues will see your efforts." So with Mr. Sato's encouragement, I worked hard and learned new skills. 3 months later, during a break in the tea room, a colleague came up to me and said, "Jack, your design is very good." This simple sentence meant that my colleague finally recognized me. "Thank you very much," I responded with a smile. Another colleague said, "At first, we thought you were a relative of Mr. Sato. So far, many acquaintances and relatives of the CEO have come to work, and they just sit there and can't do anything. I thought you would be the same, so I'm sorry to say such a bad thing to you. But during this time together, I found that you work very hard, and the works you design are also very good. You have good taste. I apologize for our misunderstanding of you some time ago. It's okay, I replied to my colleagues with a smile. This reminded me of Ms. Celine, who also used the excuse of "my father is the CEO" to work in the company, but in fact her ability was average. With the recognition of my colleagues, my work went smoothly thereafter, and I almost forgot about the things in my previous company. But suddenly, I heard from my former colleagues that my previous company seemed to be in some kind of chaos. One afternoon, I was busy at my new company when the phone suddenly rang. It was my former colleague John. It was a hot summer afternoon. The sun shone through the office blinds, illuminating the documents and computer screen on the desk. I was working on a pile of tedious reports when my cell phone rang. The name of my former colleague appeared on the screen, and I answered the call with some surprise. "Hey, how's it going?" he asked, straight to the point. "I'm fine, how about you?" I responded casually, guessing in my heart why he called. "I heard Celine is pregnant." There was a hint of hesitation in his voice. "What?" I didn't react for a moment. "Celine is pregnant, and everyone is saying it's your child." He lowered his voice. My heart sank, and Celine's face appeared in my mind. She was the daughter of the company's CEO, a spoiled rich girl. We had dated a few times, but they were just insignificant dinners and movies. I knew the child was not mine at all. "You know this isn't true," I said, trying to calm down. "We're just friends." Of course I knew that, the former colleague sighed, but that's the gossip in the company. The CEO seems to believe it, too. I hung up the phone with mixed feelings. Looking back on the time we were dating, Celine always showed interest in me, but I always felt that there was no real spark between us. We were only on a few dates, and I never thought about developing a deeper relationship. But now I understand why the CEO asked me to date his daughter when I was just a company manager. I was angry, but fortunately I didn't make a mistake. After that, another former colleague called me. "Hey, Jack, how are you doing lately?" Alex's voice sounded a little tired. "Not bad, Alex. How about you? How's the company?" I asked. "Well, since you left, the company has often received complaints from customers, especially those you used to be in charge of." Alex sighed. "They all say that the new designs are not as good as yours, and that everyone else's design level is not as good as yours. Since you left, the CEO asked Celine to replace your manager position, and everyone is very dissatisfied. Last time, Celine's designs were complained about. The client said that even an elementary school student could draw Celine's designs. As a result, the CEO was in a bad mood and the company's performance plummeted." Hearing this, I couldn't help but feel a little surprised and mixed emotions. Really? I didn't expect it to have such a big impact. Yes, the boss has been having a headache because of these things recently. He is always angry with us, but everyone knows that he just regrets your leaving. Alex continued. "Manager, I think you have always been an indispensable person in our company, and we don't want to continue working for Miss Celine," the colleague finally said. After I hung up the phone, I felt mixed emotions. Although I had left the unfair environment, I still felt a little satisfied when I heard the news. And just then, I received a call from the former CEO. "Hello, former boss," I said bluntly. "Jack, I heard that you found a new job, but the company needs you now. I will give you a raise. Please come back tomorrow and you will still be the original manager." There was a pleading tone in the CEO's voice. I looked surprised. "You must be in a lot of trouble to be here with someone you don't want to see," I said coldly. "Come on, you should apologize too," the CEO urged Miss Celine. "Huh? Jack, our company has more potential than your current new company. Your company is a small company. You know how to think about it, right? I'm sorry that I didn't believe you at the time. The CEO finally apologized. But I rejected his kindness and replied calmly, CEO, I will not go back. I am very successful in my current company. Mr. Sato really appreciates my talent and trusts me. He took me in when I was at a loss and provided me with many platforms to learn. I am very satisfied with my current job. What? No, are you not satisfied with the conditions I proposed? Can you make demands on me? The CEO asked anxiously. Unsatisfied? The only thing that comes to my mind is that you didn't listen to me. So, as I said, once trust is lost, it's hard to recover. I want to do my best in this company, so that's it. Finally, I hung up the CEO's phone by saying that I was busy with work. The next day, I received an email. Jack, I'm your old client Tina, and I want to talk to you. The sender of the message was an important client he had worked with before. Jack was delighted and quickly replied to arrange a meeting time. A few days later, Tina came to Mr. Sato's office. After several meetings and discussions, Tina decided to sign a new cooperation with Jack. As time went by, more and more old customers found Jack, and his career began to get on track. The company's business was booming, and Jack had never been so fulfilled and satisfied. 1 year later, on a weekend night, Jack was drinking red wine at home and looking at the night view outside. He was in a very comfortable mood. Just then, when he was enjoying a good time, his cell phone rang. It was Celine calling. Jack didn't answer her call, but after a while, Celine called again. Jack answered the call. Jack, I have something to tell you. Celine's voice on the other end of the phone sounded a little nervous. Jack agreed to meet her. After all, she was the daughter of the former CEO and they might meet in public in the future. Out of courtesy, Jack asked her to come to the cafe. Celine sat there with a complicated look. When she saw Jack, she took a deep breath and said, Jack, I apologize to you for what happened before. I know I was wrong and I hope you can forgive me. In addition, I want to tell you that I still like you and hope we can be together. Jack was stunned for a moment, then said firmly, Celine, I think you misunderstood. I already have a girlfriend, we are very happy together, please don't disturb our lives. Celine's face suddenly turned ugly, a flash of anger appeared in her eyes, and she gritted her teeth and said, You will regret it. After that, she turned and left, leaving Jack sitting there. Jack thought to himself, regret? Are you kidding? My girlfriend is much better than you. Jack's girlfriend is Angela. That spring, Jack and Mr. Sato from the company attended an industry exchange meeting. This exchange meeting brought together many industry elites and provided everyone with an opportunity to learn and communicate with each other. During a tea break, Jack noticed a girl who was communicating with several colleagues. She had long black hair, a pretty face, and a gentle and intellectual smile. That's Angela, Mr. Sato noticed Jack's gaze. She is a senior manager of our partner company and she is very capable. After the exchange meeting, Mr. Sato specially introduced Jack to Angela. Angela and I had a pleasant chat when we first met. We were not only from the same hometown, but also found that we had similar interests and hobbies in many aspects. Later, we had more opportunities to meet and had dinner together several times in private. Every time they met, they would find more common topics, and gradually, Jack's affection for Angela grew deeper and deeper. After many contacts, Jack plucked up the courage to confess his love to Angela, and Angela readily accepted his feelings. From that day on, they officially became a couple. Jack is very grateful to have met Angela. Angela is different from Celine. She does not have the unreasonable temper of a rich CEO. She will consider Jack's emotions no matter what happens and is willing to work with Jack. They have made plans for their future life. After half a year, when the new house is renovated, they will get married. After that, Jack's work and love life will be even busier. As for the former company, I heard the news again that their company is about to close down, but it has nothing to do with me anymore. Thanks for watching until the end. Don't forget to leave feedback and subscribe to our channel.